Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. Today we are going to discuss some of comments mentioned by atheists, by Christians, by the scientist. I will start with the comment made by a Christian, supposedly. There's only one thing always I want people to notice. There's people, they go to school, and there's people who earn degree, but they earn, and I'm not insulting the person, by the way, but this is the way I talk. I hope he understand. I'm not trying to insult you. I do not know you. This is the way I express myself. So there's people who earn degree, and they think when they earn a degree, they are educated. And there's people who never have a degree, but they use a gift. It's called the brain. Many don't even think about this brain for a second. They don't want to use it. And I will give you an example. So we go to school and we start learning, and then in school they teach us things. And those things, they stay with us for the rest of our life. Okay. Here we have Mr. or I don't know if it's a lady or a gentleman, doesn't matter really. Says, I'm a Christian here. I like your video arguing against Islam, and you seem very well educated, but you not seem very well versed in biology. Okay. Since you mispresent evolution here, you should read up upon it. It's science. It's very interesting. Although your demonstration is very funny, I have to admit. I have to admit too. I don't see why evolution should contradict Christianity. The stories in Genesis, in my opinion, should not be taken literally, but that's a whole other discussion. Okay, go into discussion now. Let us see how I don't know and how I am mispresenting whatever. A theory is not hypothesis. Okay, it's something you make up to explain things. Okay, without having any proof. A theory is backed up with evidence. Either is I know, like my English is very funny, I know. But how you say it's backed up with evidence and you call it theory? I advise you to read your words, or if you are a person who talk, some people, they should say their words in their head before they say them, because you will sound silly. How it's a theory and it's backed up with evidence. The second you reach the point of evidence, it's not a theory no more. As an example, I'm not a doctor in biology, but I have a degree in law. I'm qualified to work as a lawyer or a judge. And somebody provide me evidence. And the evidence is, let's say the guy, he confessed that he killed the guy. Is that a theory that he killed the guy anymore, or it's a fact now? For sure, in science, the story is different, but evidence is evidence. I cannot say there is evidence unless it is evidence. I cannot even call it evidence as long it is not. So as long it's proven, as long it's 100% true, then we can call it evidence. So look what you just said. A theory is backed up with evidence. Does this mean that there is evidence that is 100% true? So, okay, you are telling me I mispresent, and I don't understand. And now you are telling me that your scientists, the one you are supporting their theory, they present evidence which is not 100% true. What does that mean? It means it's full of lies, it's full of mistakes. Or it's me maybe because you are, let us say you are not educated and somebody can fool you, and that will make it like sound to be true. It's like a smart being speaking to a uneducated being, and the smart being was able to provide evidence which fit with the little brain of the little being. Too much bean here, huh? I hope that will not cause gas. So I wish sometime people, they read what they say, because what they say is extremely silly. And then he said, no, scientific method and our recitation are flawed, okay, but it's the best we have to explain something. At the moment you use those scientific method too, okay. When you show the inconsistency of in the Quran, for an example, okay, can you show me the consistency in the theory of Darwin? If there's any, you see, when somebody says there's evidence, if there's any evidence that a monkey he improved himself, he became a human, you see, later he started talking about the improvement of organs. Read carefully with me. Here he says, second, evolution improves organisms. Excuse my English. You should not orgasm. No organism, not orgasm. Be careful. Okay. So anyway, so like this is the theory. It's the you improve. Okay. So let's see. We as a human, we have heart problem. We have heart attack, and the heart attack usually happen either by a clot in the blood, or even sometimes the brain send a message to shut down the heart. You know, like when the brain feel like the body in a trouble, and there is a certain let us say message is coming to the brain give the heart an order to shut down in order to prevent something from happening. But this is a kind of causing death. It's not really helping the heart, it's not helping the human, it is causing death to the human being. So how a human being, after all the improvement, he went through billions of years according to you, and you claim to be Christian, he reached the point that he killed himself. Do you have any idea? Because remember, you are a Darwinism Christian, supposedly, which is very funny, and this is totally against the Bible, and I will show you how ignorant you are about the Bible too. Because what is the improve? After a billion of years, according to you and Mr. Darwin, a human being, he cannot fight bacteria. He failed. He failed miserably. You need to, look for medicine, and this medicine, it failed too. I mean, the bacteria is always way ahead of us, and they come with a new solution against your solution. And your solution is not your body. Usually your body is not really functioning the perfect way to fight otherwise nobody will die. So the improvement you are talking about is a false theory, because there is no improvement. And a human being used to die by heart attack thousands of years ago, and he died by heart attack thousands of years after. And he will die in a heart attack millions of years after. Nothing will change. Or brain attack, or whatever. There's a million reasons to die. One of them is your mother-in-law. So the improvement theory is not true. I can say there is, remember in the last video I said, if a person who live in the mountains, because the mountains, let us say high mountains, not just a normal mountain, a very high top mountain, his body adopt certain kind of oxygen, which means if you move to the mountain area, in the beginning, you will not feel comfortable when you breathe. Why? Because your lung is able to collect the oxygen which is needed in whatever air the lung is getting from outside. But when you are in the mountains, your lung have to work harder, have to bring more air. So I can say I accept this, but I don't accept that the lung used to be something, or let us say improve itself by being something else. What Darwinism is about, that there is selective of nature, and there is this nature is going to kill the species which is not improved, or let us say lacking improvement, and the one it's improved itself will survive. But this is absolutely false, because the same species is still there. Even the one, there's animals, they are dead. There's no reason for them. As an example, there is many animals distinct because we kill them, which means there's a predator. Human being is a predator for those animals. But there is some kind of creatures, we kill them every day, like cockroaches. But they are victorious. Why? Because the way they are made, they have a very high number of breathing, and they can resist heat. They can resist even you burn the whole house to get rid of the cockroaches, and you will find them still under the dust. So, but they did not improve themselves. This is how they are. A cockroach was a cockroach. He was not a duck. The way his system is built, I do not need improvement. He can survive even a nuclear war. We cannot. So the theory of this idiot, Darwin, and sadly to see that you are a Christian and you believe in such a stupid thing. Because if you know the Bible very well, you should know that according to the Bible, people used to live for a long, long time. Hundreds of years. So the theory of improvement, it's working in the opposite direction. When somebody used to live for 800 years or 900 years, and now we live for 60, after all, like the care we have, and doctors and hospitals and x-ray and machines and computers and vaccine and blah, 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 and then people die. So before, people used to stay younger and live longer. So if a person, according to the Bible, he lived for 600 years, that means when he was, let us say, 300 years, he's like 30 for us. So what is the improvement? Now, either you believe in the Bible or you say, I don't believe in the Bible. So don't mix the stupidity, which you call it science, with non-science, which is nonsense. You see, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professor in biology, as you said to me in the comment. You said you have a lack of education in biology. You do not know biology, Well, I have a limited knowledge in many things. And I have an extreme knowledge in some stuff. But I'm not required to be a professor in biology to know that this is a stupid idea. Because no one has control of his body. And you are an example. Can you fix yourself? Can you how your body will give an order to itself? I mean, what is the brain in the body? Do you know what is the brain? So let us say that the brain does not exist. The first cell is the brain. But as long as the cell, each one of them have a specialty. So how the cell, which is specialized in something, as an example, we have white cell in the blood and we have red cells. Can the white cell improve itself and its defense by figuring out that in the future there's a a virus will be called cuckoo and prepare for that? No. The virus have to come first, and then have to go and fight with it, and then whatever mechanism it's already she have of this cell, the white cell, she will use. So either she win or she lose. If she win, now she learned about this enemy, and she learned how to fight him better, because already she fought him already. She have an experience with him. But she cannot create a new mechanism unless you get involved and you give medicine and etc. and you to support the fight, like giving an emission to someone he is out of an emission. So why the cells are not able to improve themselves in health aspect? Still people, they have diseases, the same diseases. Cancer is killing some places 2 of every 5, imagine, which means 5 of us here, 2 of us, we might have cancer. Do you see how horrible the situation is with cancer? So why a human being is not improving himself after all those millions of years they claim in Darwinism? Obviously cancer is the biggest enemy, and science cannot really trying to find a solution. Sometimes, you know, they succeed, depend in how, let us say, advance the case, as they say. But sometimes there is no way to fix it. But anyway, as long as I'm not a doctor and I am not a professor, I just went to YouTube just a minute ago. I did not watch the whole video actually, but this is a professor. His name is Michael Behe. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name correctly. And he has a PhD, and he is a professor, you know, for biochemistry at whatever university. Are you going to say to him that you are an idiot, you are stupid, you do not know, you don't have education? You see, the most time they say to somebody trying to debate them, you say to them, you do not know Arabic. You did the same. You did exactly the same. You do not know Arabic. Or you do not know biology. But my friend, this has nothing to do even with just knowing the biology. It's about simple thinking. You are just assuming, no evidence. When you say to me, we found an animal, he looked like that animal, that's different animal. What is the proof that this is the same animal? What is the proof that this is the ancestor of this animal? I mean, if you go to your yard and you look at the insect, it's scary how many insects there is. Each one of them look different. This video here, it says, so you people can, actually I have the link underneath of the video here to give them credit. This is from a website, channel, it's called TFP, Student Action, and it says, expert destroy Darwin theory in 5 minutes. Is he qualified to talk about biology? Or he is like Christian Prince? What he learned from biology is what he learned in high school. Let us see. So he is having he have a trap for a mice in his hand. And he will show you from the trap of the mice how all the theory of Darwin is a silly theory, and he is ignorant. He will show you how Darwin is ignorant.
Only is it complex, it's what I called irreducibly complex. You can't take a part away and still have it work. If you took away this hammer, you know, the mice don't get caught. Take away the spring or the holding bar, any of the pieces, it doesn't work. Now the problem for Darwin's theory is that, number one, the molecular foundation of life is run by machines. The cell is run by actual machines made out of molecules. People find that fantastic, but hey, that's the way it is. There are little machines that act like outboard motors that can propel cells along, and other machines that carry cargo from one part of a cell to another. And those machines, just like pretty much any machine, including the mousetrap, have a number of different parts performing different roles, and they're all needed for the machine to work. Darwin's theory of evolution requires that natural selection favor an organism that has a very small change that helps the organism do something better. So if we're taking that view of Darwinism, we can ask, how could something like this, something like a mousetrap, be put together one tiny step at a time? And it turns out it's surprisingly difficult. You know, if you just had the wooden platform, just the bottom, that doesn't catch mice. If you put on, say, this holding bar, you might say, well, maybe if a mouse is running along, it would trip on the platform and impale itself on the holding bar. But that's kind of just silly. So this can't be made gradually.
So, you know, this is what I said in the previous video. How the permission is going to decide to be something else in the future. And you know, the permission is still permission, nothing changed. It's very silly. But when the silly person, he is sponsored by a mafia of anti-God, and they promote his idea everywhere, in schools, in universities, everywhere. Like now, if you say Islam is wonderful, they will put you in TV. If you say Islam is peace, if you are a person who claims to be a Christian priest and say Islam is, you know, they believe in the same God we believe in, everybody will welcome you. But the second you say the truth, everybody will fight you. Have you ever heard them quoting in TV somebody saying something negative about Islam? When the last time they did? Have you ever seen Facebook sponsoring, supporting, not taking down pages? Have you ever seen YouTube, you know, here we go, I cannot take donation here. But a person who preached jihad, we can collect donation. They never take donation from them, not even, they don't even flag their videos. So was God that created Adam as Adam, and he was, or he was something else, and he improved himself? Was God that created a snake? That God was created trees? Did God create? And what are you talking about? You say I'm a Christian and I believe in such a thing. There's no proof of such. And if you change one thing, and no way a cell can decide to change. You see, cell is a program, is a little brain. And this brain does what it's programmed for. It cannot make a new decision out of the program. Very simple. It's like your computer. You have a mouse, and the mouse, this mouse, how you use it? If you click here, something will appear in your screen, and you click at the window, that window will open. In order to change this the mouse how it works, you have to reprogram the whole software. You cannot do like one step at a time. That is a joke. Especially, you know, and everybody knows that it's impossible. First, you are assuming that the cell have a brain, and that the brain make a meeting. Hey, we have a problem here. We are going to make an improvement, and this improvement is going to take 1,000,000 years. How silly, how stupid. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then here, this professor, I don't know, he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, he's an atheist, I have no idea. But this is about science, this is just pure science. He continued and saying how stupid was Darwin. He don't know even the basic of biology.
So that's a big problem for Darwin's theory, because pretty much the foundation of life. These things are all over the place. And furthermore, you can ask yourself, well, how do we recognize intelligence? And it turns out that the way that we recognize intelligence is by what I call a purposeful arrangement of parts. And that's when different parts are put up in relationship to each other, where you can see that they have a purpose. That is, the arrangement has a purpose. An easy example are letters in a word. You know, people put the letters in to form a word, words to make a sentence, and so on. And not only is this arrangement, this can't be put together gradually, but we immediately see that the arrangement of these parts has a purpose. And so we immediately grasp the intelligence that was needed to produce something like this. And again, I can't emphasize enough that Darwin didn't know anything about the foundation of life. He and his contemporaries thought that the cell was a little piece of jello, protoplasm, they'd call it. And it was mysterious, you know, did cool stuff, but they didn't know how, so they pretty much ignored it. But modern science has shown that the cell is a lot like a ultra-sophisticated nanoscale factory, far, far beyond anything that humans could produce. And
anyway, that's enough for me. So, you know, yesterday I mentioned that scientists, even the majority of them, they are against this. The question is, how they are teaching it in every school? You know what I mean? Who is behind supporting this theory? I mean, I live in the Middle East. I grew up in the Middle East. I get my first education in the Middle East. And then I learned this in the Middle East, in the heart of Islamic countries. Who is behind sponsoring this false theory? And for a generation, everybody adopted as if it's God talking. That's it. This is true. Darwin, he found, the same as Zulqarnain, he found the sun set in murky water. And the more we learn, the more we know that this was a joke. That was a stupid. Yesterday, actually, I thought about evolution. I said to myself, can I order my cells to look like better? I mean, I woke up in the morning and I convinced myself, like, you know what, because I order my cells, like, to make me look better, you know, like, you know, so, I mean, come on, very frustrating, you know. And I don't have a mirror at home. I don't use mirrors because I don't want to get scared, you know, like something scary, you know. But I have a mirror in the car, so I went to the car and I look, and still the same. What a disappointing thing. But I've been promised that after 1 billion years, I will look better because I ordered my cells to make me improve. So, like, this is the part of the good news, you know, like, you know, we have hope, you know. And hey, ladies, females, if you, I know all of you, you would make up. Come on, don't lie about it. I mean, come on, you know, yeah, come on. So you would make up. What are you doing? Why you want to do that? Why you don't order the cells of your face to look better? Your eyes will get bigger if you want, or you make them smaller if you like, huh? Your nose, like, you can take him to the right a little bit or to the left upside, or whatever you do. I mean, come on, the cells, they will improve themselves. Okay, you know what? You can improve many things. After 1 billion years, the woman is still a woman after 1 billion years, if there is 1 billion years, as they claim. And why a human being is still stupid if we can improve the cells? I mean, how do you explain all the stupidity we see around us, including your comment? So if a human being, I mean, look, you said, is the evidence 100 true? Like, what the heck? So why you call it evidence? How evidence, they can be called evidence, and you are agreeing they are not 100% true. So they are evidence, but only 70% true, and 30% are not. But then the whole evidence is gone, because evidence cannot be evidence, because evidence, the whole thing have to complete each other to make it an evidence. Does this mean there is evidence that is 100% true? I mean, who is talking here? Somebody, like, I don't know what you are eating, man. And the improves of organisms, you know, like it's a joke, because there is no such a thing, and nothing really changed. And you are trying to compare animals to other animals, saying this was used to be this one, but we have still that one, and that one is different. Why all the monkeys, they're still monkeys? I mean, why in the world the monkey want to be a monkey? Or what he need to do, he changed his look, he joined Democrat, and he voted for, you know what, the only proof for evolution you have is the Sleepy Joe. I saw like an animal who is so slow, you know, in his sleep, when he in the middle of he's eating his sleep, you know. Sleepy Joe. Is that the evolution you're talking about? This is a cat. But after some time, the cat, she will turn into a dog, because it's better to be a dog. And the cat will, you know, improve the organ, or like, what is that? So you see, Darwinism is not only improving if it's about a changing of a species to be something else. Secondly, the decision of such a thing to happen is impossible, because that will break the whole system. You cannot do little change. What little change? And who is the one who will decide to make the little change? What is the brain who is making that decision? Did you find it? And you are talking about biology? I find it extremely silly when people, they try to defend this funny, stupid, silly theory. It's embarrassment, actually, for a man, for the brain of a human being. You know, in school we learned that when the apple fell down, he saw the apple in the tree, and then they come to the conclusion, okay, so the big object the gravity will work this way. The big object will grab the small object. And now they discover this is not always true. If it is too small, the big object will not have impact on it. The smaller it is, the harder for the gravity to take it down. This is why we have dust flying. It can fly for days before it settles down, because there's nothing moving it. Why? Because it's so light. You go in your basement, you look at the window of your basement when the sun is there. You will find billions of little tiny things flying. Like, what the heck is that? Shouldn't the earth grab it? Isn't it the gravity grabbing everything is flying? Unless there is a resistance? Like somebody flying with wings or engine, like airplane? Why they are not coming down? How that will happen over years? Look at this guy. We just got you a scientist, and he is laughing at it. And we can show you a million scientists laughing at this theory. How those change will happen? You did not tell us how. Who is going to make the change? Who is going to make the decision? You know, when last time I speak about the permission, which is the simple, you know, the most simple, let us say, cell. So this simple cell is going to change. No problem. We will go with your stupidity. And I call it stupidity. But who is going to make decision that this is the final product will be after 1 billion years? Because remember, you are not changing little, you are changing to change everything later. The improvement is about deleting some and keeping some. But in order to do such a thing, there is a brain have to be the designer of the future product, the final product, how it's going to be after 1 billion years. Who is the one is making that decision? Are we listening? This cat is scary. No, she is laughing at the theory. She's like, I told her, you know, I told her it used to be a dog. Actually, I told her her future, you know. I sent her WhatsApp because those are evolution tech cats. They are high tech, you know. They are not like they are from the Silicon Valley. So I told her, this is after 1 billion years. This is how you look like, you know. You will wear pajama, and you will become a dog. Finally, okay, you will not stay as a cat because now you are improving yourself. You are going to a higher level. And even there's a donkey, you know, the neighbor have a donkey. I told him you will be a horse. Just wait. You know, you work in it. Just be, you know, don't give up. You are a donkey. But 1 million years from now, you will become a horse because you are improving yourself. It's just little touch here and there, and you will, you know, you will change. I don't want to talk about this anymore, but I find that those people are really silly, yet they claim to be educated. And actually, I find them very much like Muslims. You know, they surrender themselves without thinking, and suddenly they became like scientists too. Like you have a lack of understanding of the theory. No, I don't. It's you who don't understand what you are saying. Evidence is evidence. If evidence cannot be true 100%, you don't call it evidence. Call it case study, call it research project, call it whatever, but this is not evidence then. Either it's 100% true, or it's not. We're talking about science here, not metaphorical things. Like, I can bring a verse in a book, doesn't matter what book, somebody make a statement. And each one of us give us different interpretation. Because it can have many meanings, but it's not science. But when it's come to science, that's it. We cannot have 1 billion interpretation for a phrase of science. I don't know why the Chinese, you know, when the Chinese, they say he left as a donkey, never come back as a horse. I don't know who said that. This is against Darwin evolution. I mean, come on. He left as a donkey, never come back as a horse. No, he can come as a horse, but just wait 1 billion years from now. He will improve his organs, and he will be, you know, he will change it the way his lips is. He will become bigger, taller, you know, yeah. And even his voice will change. So if you are a person who believes in this, and the funny he says, you know, the story in Genesis, we don't take it literally. What does the story of Genesis have to do with this anyway? Secondly, who are you to decide what is literally or not? Or like how you can confirm? You are the person who speaks about science. How you can confirm that it's not meant to be literally? You see, I'm just going with you. I mean, a person who wants to use his brain. Who is the one who decides if this is literally or not? You see, the one who wrote the words is the only one who can tell if he meant literally or not. Not you, not me. So again, you try to make assumption, and you are just a person, look like you're a person looking for a solution by assumption, and you call it evidence. And the improvement of a human being is not true. A human being became more ugly, more disgusting, more evil, more sick. He's not getting better. Not even close to be better. And if you go and study a human being, let us say you're a person who believe in billions of years, and they say to you they find like some bodies, or they look close to human, but they are not a human, you know, whatever it is. What happened? They improved themselves and they became, what happened after the improvement? They die? They vanished? If we take a human being history, like the maximum we have, maybe 5,000 years. Okay, a human being 5,000 years ago, he was different from a human being now? How much improvement we have in 5,000 years? Where is the improvement? So don't take what those people, you know, it's like we send our children to school, yes, but in our schools we have idiots who teach you how to be an idiot, not to how to be smart. Don't take what teachers they say to you for granted. And when I say teacher, it doesn't matter, including me. If I am teaching you something, search it, study it, think about it. Otherwise, you are just an idiot. You are just a receiver machine. You receive, and whatever people say to you, you take it. I went to school, and I heard the teacher, and he did not convince me for a second. I found it very stupid and very silly. And the proof that a human being is not doing the evolution is you adopting a theory and teaching it as a fact. The same as you do with the Big Bang. Every school teaching the Big Bang, but there's no proof of it. There's no proof whatsoever. You know, there's a telescope, I think it was in California. They were receiving messages from the space, brother. The news, TV station talk about it. In certain time in the day, they are receiving messages. Alien are contacting with us. CIA. They could not explain it. NASA, they confirm it. We are receiving communication from aliens. It's true. And after 22 years, they found that it was a microwave in the building. When a guy, he go to make a coffee, they received that message. So they did fool people for more than 20 years about receiving messages, and they needed translators, and they want to study the language, and the language is consistent each time we receive the same exact thing, and how we can, you know, translate this, and blah, 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 blah. And then it turned to be a guy making coffee with the microwave. And when the microwave broke, the messages stopped. A microwave. How many hours in TV they spend, how much money they make from this propaganda, this lie. There's an alien, the Bigfoot man. There's a Bigfoot in my backyard. So I find that those, you know, they claim to be scientists, but, you know, people, they are attached to mystery, attached to fictions, you know, they love it. just say to them alien, like spaceship. There is a spaceship, you know, seen by the Navy. I mean, can you really believe it that the Navy, and they have a radar and they have missiles the most advanced, and they will see something flying in the top of them and they will not shoot it down, especially it's confirmed that it's not an airline, or what? They will just watch. I mean, who is the stupid here? You know what I mean? So imagine that we have like an airplane carrier cost billions and trillions of dollars, and then we allow a spaceship, brother, to fly in the top of us, and we record it by the phone, by the phone, or even by the radar, and we do nothing about it. Look, what if this is from the enemy? He want to shoot you. How they enter our space? How we allow them? Since when in American they allow something to enter their space and let it go with all the advanced weapon we have? What a joke. And on every TV station talk about it, and the dummy and the funny. You know, like right now, you type spaceship. If I say right now, change the title, I saw a spaceship in my backyard, I will have 1 million views by the end of the day. If I say a Christian Prince, he got improved in looking, nobody will look, because they will know, still look bad. People, they love fictions, they love stupidity. This is why if you make a video about the Batman, the guy, he jumped from a building to building. I mean, nobody question how the guy, he jumped. And this is the evolution. It's in your head. I mean, the guy, he make like what? He make like something come from his fingers, and what is that? A Spider-Man is Spider-Man, come on. The man who became a spider, very easy. So what is complicated about it? I mean, why it's hard to believe? First, it's an American movie, which must be true. Like American, you know, movies, American heroes, they're gone. It's like a Turkish actor in Turkey. He was appearing in all the movies. All the movies of Turkey, he's the only hero. He is the only lover. It's like James Bond, you know, like that's what people like. They love stupidity. They enjoy it. They relax with it. They love the fantasy of the stupidity. And maybe this evolution thing give them like let's say a comfort zone of who we used to be. It's like fill up some empty space in the vacuum machine we have in our head. We have to fill it up with something to make it believe in something, even if it's stupid and there's no proof of it. Thank you for those who say nice words to me. I apologize if I don't answer you. I know you do not need me to say nice things to you. Yeah, I said no. Spider-Man is real, man. Don't be sad. Okay. I mean, and they talk about science. You see, everything exists for a reason. Even the machines we made them for a reason. Very simple method to understand things. But in order to make a design, you don't design a spaceship by thinking first about making a fire. No, we did not reach the spaceship by making a step-by-step. Spaceship, all of it is one design. It's different way even of flying from an airplane. So if we decide to take one screw from the spaceship most likely is going to fail, because that screw exists there for a reason. It's holding something. You take it off, something wrong will go. Like we Middle Eastern, when we buy something, let us say you order something online, you order the table, you know, we don't read the manual, you know, like the manual, sorry. We never read manual. And then you start putting things together, like you put screws here, screws there, you know, and then you find after you finish putting the table and the chairs, you find like there's 50 screws are not needed. They are extra. Or you take a part from the car, and then when you put it back, you find like they have 5 screws extra. Like, where they come from? Somebody saying to me, did you finish your high school? To be honest with you, they fired me before I finished the high school. And I did the exam by myself, you know, because they fired me from the school. Are you happy now? I used to be fired for anything happening in the school, even if it's not me. Because, like, you know, you have reputation. Anything happened, they will say it's him. Are you happy now? And did you finish your high school? Yeah, I finished my high school. But the only certificate I have is a driving license. Are you happy now? You are the educated one. You are the one who's smart. Yeah, they fired me. They fired me from the whole country high school, you know. Because I was like, you know, a very, very good person in the school. Actually, I was, you know, but I mean, I'm like a revolutionary person, let us say. I don't accept things is not right. And I flip things upside down on them. But anyway, with the school, without school, who cares? I finished my high school, I get a good grade, I joined university, I finished my university, I finished my master's degree, blah, 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 blah. School, teachers never make you as smart. It is you who work in yourself. Not even books make you smart. Because what if the book is written by an idiot? What if this book is full of false information? Most of the books actually are written by, you know, by idiots, especially, you know, like philosophy books, you know, the philosophy, like, well, you know, philosophy. What is philosophy? Philosophy is how to play with words. I mean, and a smart person try to play with the mind of a fool. That is philosophy. Someone who is more intelligent, he can use ideas together in order to convince someone he is not fit for that person. That they call him philosopher. But when you read a book of a philosopher, you find that after reading his book, you are more confused from before reading the book. So what's the point of this philosophy? Do you remember the Arabian guy, he went to learn logic? First time he joined, that, you know, they introduced logic in the Middle East. This is new. So the guy, he asked the teacher, hey sir, what is logic? What is this class about? Logic, philosophy and logic, what is that? The teacher, he said, logic is to learn about something from knowing something else, something you do not know, from something you know. The student, he's still confused. He said, like what? How? He said, okay, I will ask you a question. So he said to him, do you have a chain? Chain, you know, at home? The guy, he said, yes. The teacher, he said, as long as you have a chain, that's when you have a dog. He said, yeah, that's true. He said, as long as you have a chain and you have a dog, that's mean you have a yard. He said, absolutely. He said, as long as you have a chain, you have a dog, you have a yard, that's mean you have a nice house. He said, yes, sir, you're right. He said, as long as you are a chain, you have a chain, you have a dog, you have a yard, you have a nice house, that's mean there is somebody have to take care of all this house, and that's your mother. He said, absolutely, you are correct. And because you have a chain and you have a dog and you have a yard and you have a big house and your mother taking of it, from here we learn that your mother, she is a good woman. The student was astonished. So the teacher said, see, from asking you about the chain, we were able to know that your mother is good. Now, the idiot, he learned philosophy and logic. So he went out of the school, he just learned philosophy and logic. So the first person he met in the street, he said to him, do you have a chain? He said, no. He said, your mother is a whore. Like, what? Well, this is what he learned. If you have a chain, your mother is good. What about the person who don't have a chain? So every human being, he understands his logic based in his stupidity, not his intelligence. The teacher was smarter than the student, but he is more stupid than the student. Because what the chain have to do with having a dog? There's a billion things to use for the chain. But when you are a fool, anyone can use you and abuse you. And when you are a fool, you learn your own logic. And you create your own fancy logic. But not necessarily is true. The logic of a Muslim that he pray to Allah 5 times a day and then Allah will make his penis endless. There's more than 1 billion human beings, they are convinced with it. True, it's true, brother, logical. But nobody want to ask himself, okay, how in the world I want to walk with this penis which is endless? I mean, I'm going to walk backward or forward? Backward is possible because you drag it, you know, I mean, I don't want to go in details. So, I advise people when you, before you say things, try to think, you know, try to use your brain. God, he gave us a brain. And all of us, not certain people. No, that's not true. All of you can be extreme smart. All what you need to do is use the gift. Don't be just a follower. Nothing wrong, by the way, by being a follower. But follow someone smart. So you can learn from him how to get smarter. Associating with donkey will not make you a horse and will not make you smarter. If I sit with a smart person for 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes is going to be very useful 5 minutes for me because he is smarter than me, more educated than me. I will have a benefit of sitting with this person. But when I sit with an idiot for 5 years, I will graduate as an idiot like him because he will take me down. He will take me backward. He will teach me things I should not do. You associate with someone, he think that drugs is good. What you would do after associating, living with this person, or thinking it's, you agree with him after some time because it's fun. That's what he told you. It's fun. You take drugs. How many of you here smoke? How many of you people smoke? Don't be shy, it's okay. If you smoke, give us one, please. And don't forget, don't worry, I'm not going to say anything bad about you. How many of you smoke? Nobody here smoke? Like, come on. See, there are... For the last time, who is here smoke? Otherwise, I will smoke you. I used to be smoked for 5 years. Okay, I don't know. How are you? Humble warrior, he said, I do. My friend, humble. Question I want you to ask yourself. Why you smoke? What is the benefit? And what is the purpose? Do you believe in the evolution too? Like after smoking, you will turn a different person? Actually, this is what they try to do to you when you were a kid. There's a video actually about a person, he is teaching you how to be confident. I made a video about it before, if you remember. He said, he was like describing a guy in a movie, how he is so powerful, like how he put a leg in the top of the other leg. Mean, that is something. And then he asked her if she have a light, and he grabbed a cigarette. Look at this. So this guy in this video, he is teaching you how to be a confident man who attract women to you. How you attract women? You wear shiny shoes. And you put the right leg in the top of the other one. And then you grab from your left jacket pocket, your cigarette box. And you ask the lady, do you have a light? And she look at you. She cannot resist, that's it. You have a cigarette in your hand, but it's not in fire yet, and now she will fire you up because she cannot resist. That's it. So this is how they fool the people. This is the guy is giving you advice in YouTube how to be a self-confident. A cigarette will make you self-confident. You know, when I used to go hunting, I never take a gun with me. I take a cigarette. I mean, who care about, like, if a bear come to you or a hyena or, come on, I will take the cigarette. I look at the bear. The bear is like, will be scared. He will be attracted to me, actually. He will like chase me, but he will not hurt me because I have a cigarette. I'm confident now. I mean, how in the world this logic work? How those people function? So my friend, those who smoke, ask yourself, why you smoke? You're burning. You know, once I went with a friend, you know, we were like, you know, went for hunting, and he have his wife with him. And he have his cigarette box. I took the cigarette box and I throw it in the fire. He got so upset. He said, why you do that? What, I'm going to buy a cigarette box now when you are in the middle of nowhere? I said, didn't you buy it to burn it? He said, what? I said, didn't you buy this box to burn it? I just burn it for you. This is exactly what you do. You spend your money to burn it. Why a human being want? You don't want to use his brain. You are not only burning your money, you are burning your lung, you are burning your body. You smell bad. You smell like a chimney. And in the age of 50, 40, you will not be able to run for 10 meters. So why you do it? So you see, because they convince us in a certain time that this is what will make me look like a man, or that will make you look like an attractive woman. So they start smoking. Now you go in the street, you see everybody using the hookah. You know the hookah? In the Arab Middle East, we call it shisha. So the shisha of the Muslims coming all over in America and in Europe. Those young kids who they are smoking this stupid thing, which is very disgusting.